Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Night Sky This Week. This is for February 8th, 2021. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. And I hope you had a great weekend. Lots of things happening in the sky this week coming up as well. We've got a flurry of different constellations to look at, planets to also investigate, and of course, an upcoming mission to the red planet. So why don't we dig in? Thanks so much again for watching. I hope you had a great weekend. This past weekend, I got the chat room open. Maybe you can tell me, did you see any northern lights? There have been some instances of what are called geomagnetic storms over the past weekend. And folks from Northern Europe and northern parts of North America have been reporting this past weekend of seeing northern lights or aurora borealis. This is when charged particles from the sun impact Earth's magnetic field, and we see a series of beautiful light shows in the sky. Let me show you my friends at spaceweather.com, which is a great site, by the way, spaceweather.com. They collected a lot of really neat photographs from this. You can see it in their Aurora gallery. Here, I'm just going to show you a few. This is from Abisko, Sweden, posted today. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's called a corona type of northern lights, where the influx of charged particles are practically coming down, raining down overhead of the observer. It's a really spectacular form of northern lights. Also, you can see even from Wisconsin, just below the border with Canada, south of the border, there were some northern lights. Now, these are typical northern lights kind of views that you would see as a very low level kind of auroras or northern lights, something very cool. So that's what happened this past weekend. I've got the chat room open. I see folks from Sarah from Michigan. Cynthia is saying hello. Hi, Christina. Hello to you too. Laureen said she saw them. They were very cool and very bright, she says. Marcia says, Northern Lights on my bucket list. Did see the winter hexagon clearly last week. That's fantastic. Tabby, nice of you to join us here. So wherever you're watching, welcome from Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. So glad you could join me. Why don't we dive in and see what is in the night sky this week in store for us. Now, I've got the night sky set up for early evening. This is Monday, February 8th. And this week, what's really particularly cool is that the moon is out of the way. The glare of the moon is not there to bother us. So we get to do what's called deep sky observing, looking at things that are beyond our solar system. And of course, the primary objects are stars. And the brightest stars that we see in the sky form what are known as constellations, these beautiful patterns of stars that we've done connect the dots, humans have since ancient history. And some of the most ancient constellations are visible now in this part of the time of the year. And one of them that I wanted to focus on is Leo the Lion. Now, Leo the Lion will become ever more prominent in the across the northern hemisphere in the coming months. And it's a great time to get acquainted with this beautiful feline constellation, king of the cosmic jungle, Leo the Lion. It's rising in the east, mid-evening or late evening, your local time. So when I'm talking about times of the night or local times, I mean it's local to you. So wherever you are in the world, your local time. So really, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, where I'm located, I'm in Montreal, Canada. And for me, this is late in the evening. That's really rising in the eastern horizon is Leo constellation. Now, the most brilliant star of Leo, the Lion, is Regulus. And I want you to be able to see that. It's a really beautiful white colored star. It's a white, maybe with a hint of blue, and it's a beautiful star. It's about 77 light years away from the Earth, and it's kind of actually bluish white in color. It's absolutely beautiful. It used to be called Cor Leonis, the Latin name for the heart of the lion. As you can see in this planetarium image, you can see it rising in above the horizon, the eastern horizon there. And the first thing that will catch your eye will be Regulus. So, and it marks sort of the bottom of a backwards question mark. And that's what you're going to be looking for, is this backward shaped question mark. Now I'm going to set this so that you can see it a little bit, perhaps a little bit more clearly. And this backwards question is marked out with this orange line. You can see right here, you have Regulus, Algiba, and then these other fainter stars, all visible to the naked eye. Even from large city suburbs, you should be able to see that. Regulus will be visible even in very light polluted regions too. But this backwards question mark is very distinctive. It's a large, prominent, what we call an asterism, a pattern of stars that's not a constellation, but maybe part of a constellation that is just recognizable to the human eye very, very clearly. And that backwards question mark is something you should try to find. It's very evident, and it marks Leo the lion. So you get to see that. Now, the back end of the lion is also visible, and that's back here, this triangular formation of stars here. You can see Zosma, Cherton, and Denebola mark these three stars. Let me move it a little bit higher up there. It marks the back end and tail of Leo the lion. This is one of those constellations that really does look like what it's supposed to represent, this lion formation. And I find it's very clear to see. I want you to go outside, let your eyes adapt 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Late in the evening, looking towards the east. If you wait towards midnight, of course, this will become even more evident because Leo will be rising in your local sky. Here, if I zoom out, you can see there's Leo, and closer to midnight, local midnight, it will be higher and higher in your local sky, in the northeast, east, moving towards the south in the overnight period. So check out Leo the lion. It's a great, great view. Now, if we go to Tuesday, February 9th, we've got more things in store. Let's check the chat room for a second. Graciela from Argentina, hi. Nice of you to join us. Michelle from North Carolina is talking about the Northern Lights and saying that she said hello from North Carolina. Only saw Northern Lights a few times in my life, near Canada many years ago. Yes, the more north you go, Michelle, higher in latitude, the more Northern Lights chances of you get to see them. So definitely that's something should be on your bucket list. Definitely. When Suna says, whenever I look at the sky and stars, I remember a scene from the movie A Beautiful Mind and John Nash. Yes, the sky has been an inspiration for a lot of movies, definitely. So thank you for those comments. Now, getting back to the sky on Tuesday, February 9th. In the evening sky, after your local sunset, let's put it into sunset, and then I'm going to put it an hour after local sunset, looking towards the west, southwest. I want you to look for Mars. Mars is going to be really brilliant still this week. And of course, why is Mars so big this week in the news is because we're starting to invade the red planet, right? So if you haven't heard, if you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, there is a bunch of, there's actually 3 missions to Mars that are on its way and will be landing or going into orbit around the red planet. So this is very, very cool. The first up of the 3, so there's 3 missions, one from the United Arab Emirates. Then there's another a mission that will be landing is NASA's Mars Perseverance rover. That's happening next week. And then a few weeks later will be China's orbiter and lander and rover that'll be getting to Mars very soon as well. So we've got these three missions, trio of missions. First up is United Arab Emirates. Very cool. Officially arriving at the red planet will be tomorrow. And if I can show you maybe a little bit about what the mission is about and what it looks like, just to give you a taste. So we're at the countdown. This is the official site of the mission. It's very, very cool because we're less than 21 hours here as of this recording on February 8th, Monday, 21 hours from it arriving in orbit around the red planet. It's currently now 500, just over 500,000 kilometers away from the red planet. It represents the first mission by an Arab nation, an interplanetary mission. So it's a very big milestone for humanity. It's going to be, its mission is really to be looking at the weather patterns, the climate on the red planet. So I'll put a link to this their website after this broadcast. And really the highlights, it launched from Japan. It's a really international mission. It involves University of Colorado as well, scientists helping out. And it will be mapping the long-term climate of the red planet. This is, of course, really important because if we want to send humans to Mars, we need to know what the daily weather patterns, the long-term climate on the red planet is, so that we can safely, perhaps, set up human bases on the red planet in the future. So it's something very cool. And of course, in the night sky, you can see Mars for yourself with the naked eye. You can actually celebrate this great milestone with that humanity's experiencing now of sending these new international missions to the red planet. And you can see Mars for yourself in the sky. I've got it marked right there. It looks like a bright orange star in the southwest, and that's any clear night this week. And remember, this week is great because the moon is going to be officially in the new moon phase on Thursday. So all this week we get a dark evening sky. As long as you've got clear skies, you get to see lots of things in the night sky that otherwise maybe the glare of the moon might be blocking and filtering out for you. So check Mars out on the day, Tuesday, February 9th, the day that the United Arab Emirates has its probe reach Mars, hopefully go into orbit, hopefully it makes it. Its name is Hope, and a lot of hope is actually riding on this mission. So that's really, really cool. So that's on February 9th, Tuesday. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, if we hop into the morning skies, and you'll see some planets and the moon. So check this out. So we've got here Monday right now, but I'm going to move over to Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to move over to Wednesday and check this out. On Wednesday morning, you have the moon next to Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter. Now, Venus and Jupiter are going to be just barely visible right before sunrise. This is going to be tricky in the southeast. You've got to time it right. The window of viewing is probably within the half hour of your local sunrise. So you have to find out, go to on a weather app, try to find out when your sunrise is this week, each day. And this is set on Wednesday. But if you look tomorrow, Tuesday, as of we're recording this, of course, on Monday, the February 8th, but on February 9th morning, Tuesday morning, there will be a sliver crescent moon just off to the far right of this trio of planets, Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter. And then by Wednesday morning, the moon will tuck underneath Saturn and be very close, snuggling with Jupiter and Venus. It'll be a tricky sight. If you have binoculars, it will definitely help, but it's a great challenge to be able to see how good your eyesight is, how good are you at sky watching. And we've been all watching these planets for many, many weeks and months. So give that a try on Wednesday. This is Wednesday, February 10th. So that's what's up there. And on Thursday, you can see the moon will be popped right out of view completely, and you'll be left with just the planet. So the moon on Tuesday and Wednesday will guide you to these planets. And then by Thursday, the moon is out of the sky completely, heading into Thursday, it will be a new moon phase, basically very close to the sun and invisible to us. And we're left with these planets visible in the early morning sky. So let's move to Friday now. Friday this week and into the evening sky after sunset. We'll move this a little bit later and we'll see what there we go. We get to see the entire sky. And what will be very neat, looking towards the north part of the sky, is the Big Dipper. Everybody, who's been a Boy Scout, Girl Guides has gone through this when they're kids. Maybe you've been on camping trips, and it might be the only thing that you might have grown up knowing where it is in the sky, is the Big Dipper. It's a beautiful 7-group pattern of stars. This is, again, a very good example of what's called an asterism. An asterism, again, is a pattern of stars that not necessarily a constellation. Could be part of one, could be part of, made up of stars from different constellations. In this case, the Big Dipper is part of the Ursa Major constellation, this giant bear configuration, the Great Bear, Ursa Major, and it represents the back end and tail of the Ursa Major, the Big Bear. That's what the Big Dipper is. And you can see clearly that the Big Dipper is on its side in the mid-evenings this time of the year. So on Friday, with the moon still out of the way, give this a try. Or Saturday, you can do it on any other day of the week as well. But let's say on Friday, you would try this. It's really cool to be able to see it on its side. It's quite different to notice this, very, very clear group of stars. And if we use the two top stars at the end of the bowl, Merak and Dubhe. And Merak and Dubhe, and what you would do is you draw an imaginary line to the next brightest star, as you can see here, and guess where you hit? The North Star, called Polaris. So this is one of your first ways of learning how to do star hopping, is by connecting the dots and kind of drawing imaginary lines to the next brightest star. And that's what you're doing with the two end stars of the Big Dipper. So give that a try on Friday this week. And then on the weekend, why don't we move over to my favorite giant hexagon, this giant hexagon formation that'll be in the southern sky, late evening, anytime this week, but try this on Saturday, Sunday this week, is identifying. If you've missed my video, I have a special kind of explainer video about the giant winter hexagon. I'll put a link underneath here in the comment section to that. And it gives a really nice in-depth view of what this winter hexagon is and how to find it and how to trace it out. It's very easy. But I wanted to focus on I think one of the biggest sky treasures inside the winter or giant hexagon, and that's Orion. Of course, the Orion constellation is considered one of the super stellar gems for backyard sky watchers. And that's because it's just filled with lots of bright stars. You can't miss out on this. And you can see here, Betelgeuse, this orange bright star, marks the shoulder, one of the shoulders of the Orion mythical hunter. Then we've got Betelgeuse, a very distinctly different colored star than Betelgeuse. Bellatrix is blue-white, while Betelgeuse is kind of orange-yellow. And by the way, Betelgeuse is a supergiant star. It's located about 550 light years away from us. We think that it may go supernova sometime between now and 100,000 years from now. And when it does, it'll shine as bright as the moon, maybe even brighter than the moon, casting shadows. You may even be able to read by the light of Betelgeuse when it goes supernova. But for now, it hasn't. It's just a beautiful orange bright star marking the shoulder of Orion. And then the belt of Orion is marked by these three stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. Now, these three stars are, again, very bright, distinctly in a row of three stars. And underneath that is hanging what we call the Sword of Orion. And the Sword of Orion is again made from three stars that are perpendicular almost to the three that make up the belt, except for the central star in Orion. In the central star in the sword, what we also call the gleam in the sword, is a fuzzy glow. It's not a perfect star like the other two stars that flank it, below and underneath. The middle star of the Sword of Orion is actually a nebula. It's called the Great Orion Nebula. It's very famous. You've probably heard of it. If you follow skywatching any at all, you've probably seen pictures of it. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful object. I'll show you a picture. Check this picture out. Again, taken by a backyard skywatcher. Isn't that magnificent? It's like a painting, a beautiful tapestry in the sky right there. Of course, this is a long exposure photograph. And like Enrique is saying here, M40, also known as Messier 42, it's about 1,700 light years away from Earth. And it's something that's visible to the naked eye. You can see it as a fuzzy little blob, and through binoculars, you point it, definitely you can see it looks like a little tiny cloud. And with a small telescope, you start seeing the shape of it. It looks like a downturned flower through a high-powered telescope. It's really interesting. And what it is at the center of this are a group of stars that are embedded, all kind of inside, nestled within this giant cloud of dust and gas. And these are baby stars that are glowing super bright, producing a lot of radiation. And that radiation, like ultraviolet radiation and everything, is causing the gas around it to glow. And that's what really creates this amazing sight that you're seeing here. Is all these kaleidoscope of colors are caused by the glow of those stars that are right here at the center here. All they're going embedded within this cloud. It's really impressive. 1,700 light years away. So we're looking back in time 1,700 years. That's how long the light from the Orion Nebula takes to reach your eye. And this is an object that is visible even with the naked eye. Try it out. Now that the moon is out of the way this week, Saturday and Sunday will be a perfect time, or a clear night this week, to go and find the Orion Nebula. It's something so cool. So with that, you've got a whole jam-packed week of stuff to do. I'm gonna put sky charts for you on my timeline on Facebook. Also on Instagram, I'll have links for all of that. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending a few moments of out of your day. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channels, whether you're watching on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. You don't want to miss my next video. And of course, as always, I wish all of you clear skies. Until next time. Bye-bye.